Discouraged with not hitting your sales goals month after month, or do you avoid maybe setting them all together? In this week's video, we're talking about why to prioritize sales systems over sales goals and how to set up a monthly sales system that you can grow and scale over time. Welcome back to Your Content Empire, the YouTube channel dedicated to helping you get more consistent and profitable with your content the easy way. I am your host, Haley Dale, a content and sales funnel strategist obsessed with getting you all the latest and greatest in content and marketing. It's no secret that I am a little obsessed with systems, especially the sales and evergreen varieties. And the biggest reason comes down to this. It's impossible for you to be everywhere at all times. And when you're actually available to sell something and when your audience is ready to buy something might not always be on the same clock or the same page or the same wavelength. Plus, there is so much heavy lifting that a well-designed sales automation can do for you that will let you avoid reinventing the wheel every time you make a sale, dropping the ball with follow-ups, and give you an opportunity, most importantly, to measure, tweak, and optimize the process for better conversions and a better experience on the customer or client side too. And this isn't just applicable to evergreen sales systems either. A few years ago, I was running the same live being the keyword, workshop for 6 months straight. Going into it, I had this assumption, this belief that, my audience was going to get bored, I was going to get bored, and it would just lose its effectiveness over time. But I'm happy to experiment. And I'm also happy to admit that I couldn't have been more wrong. Not only was it my highest converting sales event, but it also got better and better every time I ran it. I solicited feedback and then implemented those tweaks. I learned firsthand the power of a great repeatable sales system, and I don't want you to miss out on all that it could do for you and your business too. Up next, we're covering why sales goals are out and sales systems are in, and how you can start creating and optimizing your own sales system. But first, what is the difference between sales systems and sales goals? It's an important difference that we need to be really clear on. So sales systems and sales goals have some fundamental differences, but they also have some similarities. So if you're having trouble distinguishing between the two, just know you're not the only one. They're pretty close. Let's break them down though, because there are some really key differences that are important here. So first off, sales goals sound a little like this. I want to hit 10K this month with X product or an X launch, whatever those numbers actually are. This illustrates, though, the binary nature of sales goals. You either hit them or you don't. And unfortunately, this sets you up for failure more often than it sets you up for success, as it doesn't leave any room for milestones or gradual build up to your goals. Sales systems, on the other hand, sound a little something like this. I want to hit 10K a month from my X funnel or X offer, or maybe something like this. I want to hit 10K a month from running monthly workshops. Sales systems are set up to be incredibly flexible and, more importantly, repeatable, which gives you an opportunity to measure and reflect regularly and optimize any piece of the process for increasingly better results. They also provide an opportunity to streamline the system, automate more, rather than creating new systems, new events, new funnels, new promotions from scratch every single time. So while the difference phraseology is definitely an important difference between a system versus a goal, there's also a difference in the approaches too. With a sales goal, the focus is more focused on the end result, and the ways in which you get there or try to get there might be different every single time. One time it might be a challenge, the next it might be an affiliate push, the next it might be, just emailing your list. But with a system, the focus is on the process, especially with making it repeatable and measurable so that you can avoid starting from scratch every single time. And the most freeing part of taking a systems approach versus a goal-based approach is that perfection is not required here. In fact, it's discouraged. That's the great thing about sales systems. They aren't set in stone, so you can go back and tweak your system any time. What's most important is laying your sales system foundation down so that you can continue to make improvements over time. So are you ready to get down to the how to set up a sales system? Let's move on to phase number 1, which is to pick an offer and get it sales ready. So if you're ready to shift from sales goals to sales systems, the first step is to pick a single offer or an offer suite, like a core offer and a lead-in offer or an upsell and downsell or add-ons, and get it ready to sell. That means making sure that all the supporting pieces are ready and in place, including your onboarding tools, your sales page, your thank you page, sales messaging and graphics, the checkout process. Don't forget to test it. Just a word of advice here, but make sure that all those pieces are in place. Because we're systems focused, not a one and done launch focus, this means that you can let up on the need for these things to be flawless. Start with what you have and then go through running it. Then measure and tweak it and update bits and pieces of the sales collateral as you go and each time that you run it. So that's step number 1. So once you have that in place, it's time to move to the next thing, which is phase 2, choosing a sales method. So once your offer is sales ready, it's time to pick a sales method for your sales system. The key here is repeatability. So might be, that this is a completely automated funnel, or it could be, you want to take more of an events approach that you could run every so often. So maybe a, workshop or a webinar or a challenge that you can run monthly or quarterly or bi-monthly. Once you've decided on the method that you want to build a system around first, it's time to prep your materials. For an automated funnel, this might be like creating the lead magnet or pulling something that you already have, setting up the sign-up system like the opt-in page, the form, the thank you page, following the follow-up sequence, the sales page, what that offer is going to look like. For a repeatable event, on the other hand, it would be like gathering the event content, making sure all your workshop slides and all of the workshop presentations and workbooks are in place, or challenge materials or webinar materials, whatever that is. So getting all of that event content ready to go, the event promotion content, the follow-up sequence and the promotion materials, the event sign-up system, and just basically every single piece that you're going to need to run, promote, and sign people up and follow up for this actual event. Just like getting the sales collateral in phase number 1, in the previous phase, this isn't about getting these things perfect. Start running the system with what you already have, or that first draft version of it, because you're going to get far better intel from the results than you will of actually running it, than you will from obsessing over achieving perfection and putting off running it at all. That whole perfection chase can be truly, truly paralyzing. I know that firsthand. Good enough is great for now. That brings us to phase number 3, which is to document your sales system. So once everything is ready to go, you have your sale ready offer and a sales method created, it's time to actually run it, right? The first time that you run the system, I want you to approach it like you are an investigative journalist here and document every little thing. What steps do you take to set up the sign-up system? What steps do you take to promote it? What steps do you take to run it? And what steps do you take to follow up after that event, or follow that follow-up sequence where you make that offer? Then also, what steps do you take to measure it, right? Every single little step that goes into the process, you want to capture it, because it's going to help you make informed improvements when you're ready. And it's also going to make sure that, our most important characteristic of a sales system is that it's repeatable, that that's actually going to happen. So document every single little thing, even if it feels teeny tiny and too tiny to even need to remember it. So phase 4, after you have run it and documented it, it's time to measure, tweak, and repeat. So once you're finished running your system for the first time, the most important step is to measure your results. You want to track things like how many people entered the funnel, or how many people signed up for the event, what happened after that in terms of clicks, sales, inquiries, engagement, and what feedback did you get. Basically, what I recommend here is to map out your entire sales flow. So from the promotion of the event itself or the lead magnet, to how many people signed up, to how many people said yes to your offer at the end of it, or checked out the sales page, or submitted, requested a proposal or a call. document that entire flow, and then think about, like, in each step, what is the percentage of people who move to the next step? And with that information, those are the teeny tiny numbers that you can focus on starting to improve. Then what you want to do is use this information from your measurement to come up with a list of 3 to 5 things that you're going to change up the next time that you run it. While you're at it, I want you to get one step ahead of yourself here and schedule the next time that you're going to run it, especially if it is an event-based sales system. A great sales system beats sales goals every single time, my friend. So if you just the high level steps here, pick an offer, get it sales ready, choose a sales method that is repeatable and measurable, run your sales system and document everything. And lastly, run it, measure it, tweak it, rinse and repeat. You can run this an infinite amount of times. The more times you actually run your systems, the more opportunities you'll have to tweak your way into something great and scalable. And perhaps most importantly, make room for celebration. No matter how big or small your progress may seem, every sale, every improvement, every thank you email that people are going to send you, every step forward is a win. Now, I want you to let me know in the comments, are you a sales goal or a sales system kind of person? And has it changed from watching this video? And with that, make sure to like and subscribe. And if you want to be the first to know when a video goes live, hint, it's every single week, ring that bell. And until next time, here is to your content empire.